So now we'll be studying regarding maximum daily demand and maximum hourly demands. What are these demands? What is maximum daily demand? What is maximum hourly demands? All we'll be studying. For many of you who are not very much acquainted to environmental engineering or who are studying environmental engineering for the very first time, you need not to worry, because I'll be telling you why this terms came into picture. Fine. Now, first I'll give you an example. Let us suppose every day you consume a certain amount of water. Let us suppose we can assume that you consume how much? 335 LPCD of water. An individual consumes 335 LPCD of water. Now, each day, will your demand be the same? Will you be consuming 335 LPCD? Obviously not. Someday it might happen that you will consume 270 liters per day. Someday it will happen, I'm talking regarding a single person. So let it be liters per day, because it's understood that I'm talking regarding a single person. So someday you will be consuming 335 liters per day. Someday you will be consuming 270 liters per day. Someday you will be consuming 210 liters per day. So this values, the demand of yours per day keeps on changing, and let us suppose we'll add it for 365 days. We'll add your demand for 365 days. On dividing it by 365, you will get, let us suppose, I'm just calculating it, 270 liters per day. There are 365 values, that is 365 daily demand of a single person. And then for knowing the average demand, what I did, I just divided it by 365. What I got 270 liters per day. Let me inform you, these are arbitrary values. Fine. So don't think that, ma'am, if I'll add 335, 270 and 365 up till 365 these values, the answer will be something different. I'm just giving you an example. This is an arbitrary value, right? So now what is happening? You will add these values because every day your demand will be something different. So when you will divide by 365, you will get 270 liters per day. Now, what you did, you remember I told you the source, the pipes, pumps, treatment units. I want to design those units. Fine, because I asked you the question that you can't design it for any number of years or for any demand. You have to first calculate what is the population, what is the source of water, for how many years you have to design, for how much quantity of water you have to design. So that all questions will be answered in this lecture. Getting it? So now what happens is, let us suppose for one person I got 270 liters per day, or you can calculate it for that whole community also, but first I'm talking regarding a single person. My field of interest, I'm talking regarding a single person. After this, you can relate it to n number of population which is being asked. Fine. So now what is happening? 270 liters per day is the demand, average demand, which is coming into picture. So you will say what? You will say, ma'am, all the treatment units which you have told us, all the sources which you have told us, we'll design it for 270 liters per day. No issues. You can do that. Now, what you did, you designed source, pipes, pumps, treatment units, pipes, service reservoirs, distribution system, everything you designed it for 270 liters per day because you considered it as your average demand and you just basically designed it. Now you tell me, some days it may happen that your demand is more than 270 liters per day. That is, it was more by how much amount? What was the amount of water you required? It was 335 liters per day. And for how much amount of water your whole raw water scheme was designed? It was designed for 270 liters per day. So in such cases, when you saw that you designed it for 270 liters per day, but actually for that particular day, your demand was 335 liters per day. So what will happen? Your raw water scheme will fail. Why it will fail? Because it is not able to give the amount of water, or you can say it is not able to fulfill the demand of water required by you. So in this case, what happened? Your raw water scheme failed, right? So this case we can't consider. That means if anybody asks you, can you design raw water scheme based on average demand? You will say no. Reason I told you, because that demand which exceeds the raw water demand, you won't be able to fulfill that, and in that case your raw water scheme will fail. Up till here it's clear? Now, then what should we do? The question comes, what should we do? Then how should we design the system? Because ultimately we have to design it for a certain demand. It's not like, okay, fine, for this liters you design. No, there has to be a proper planning, there has to be a proper design, and there has to be a proper design parameter which has to be considered. Fine, all these three things. Now, average demand, you said no. Now, let us see. I'll give you one example. I'm plotting a graph of population and time. On this y-axis is known as ordinate, x-axis is known as abscissa. So I'll be putting time on x-axis and water demand or population, you can say basically discharge. Here I'll be putting discharge in this case. Find the amount of water required. Now what happens? You see, initially, see, this is an arbitrary graph. First of all, things which I'm telling you in advance, this is the graph which I'm going to draw is an arbitrary graph. This graph, for me, it will be something different. For you, it will be something different. And I told you, for a country like India, where 134 crores people live, it can't be possible that you can check the daily demand of everybody. Fine? So now, let us suppose I'm taking from 3 a.m. So, at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., my water demand was less. Then what happened? Then comes the time from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. That times, what happens? I'm talking on a general basis. Fine. So the students have to go to schools. We have to go to offices. What will happen? Suddenly, the demand will increase. This time, our demand will increase. This increased. Fine. Now what will happen? After that 3 to 6, 6 to 9, after that 9 to 12 noon, you'll get a lesser amount of demand. You need a lesser amount of demand. Then again 12 to 2, there will be a slightly more amount of demand. Then what I can say, like I can say 12 to 3 you can take. Then 3 to 6 p.m. What will happen? Your demand will slightly increase, because evening when everybody comes, they'll have dinner, they'll have lunch or anything like that. Your demand will increase. Then 6 to 9, there will be a considerable amount of discharge or the water requirement. And after that, 12 midnight. Your demand will be lesser, because it's the time for going to sleep and all those things. So for me, peak occurred at 3 to 6 p.m. For you, peak may be at 6 to 9 p.m. For somebody else, peak will be from 12 to 3 p.m. So you can see, this is the variation. The discharge varies with respect to time. Fine, there is a variation of discharge with respect to time. Sometimes I require a larger amount of water. Sometimes I require comparatively lesser amount of water. Now, the thing which I told you, I can explain you with the help of the graph, this graph. Now, let us suppose you are designing it for the average demand. You designed it, let us suppose the thing which I have marked with dots, it is your average demand. So, this average demand is able to fulfill this demands. But this average demand is not able to fulfill the demands which is above it. And that is the reason we never ever design our raw water scheme for average demand. This should be very much clear, because when it comes in assertion and reasonings also, you should know that, okay, if you know that we don't design for average demand, then you should know what is the reason why don't we design it for average demand. And that I told you here. Correct? Now, so the question comes, how can we design? So, design of raw water scheme is based on fluctuations. What I said, design is based on fluctuations. Now, you will ask me, ma'am, what is this fluctuation? We haven't come across this word. Sometimes we say that what happens, some things fluctuate. These terms fluctuate, you would have basically heard somewhere. But other than that, if I'm asking you here in raw water scheme, what is fluctuations, what you will say? See, fluctuation is defined, if I'm talking regarding fluctuation, it is defined as how many times average parameter is less than the maximum value of parameter. What I said, how many times average value of parameter, let us suppose here I am taking any parameters P. How many times average value of parameter is less than the maximum value of parameter. Or you can define it in another way round, that how many times average value of parameter is more than the minimum value of parameter. Either way you can define it, no issues. Fine. Now, here in our case, to be precise, this parameter P is the demand of water, or you can say it is the water demand. So, I can write parameter P in our case is demand of water. Fine. Now, you got that, okay, fine, we'll calculate the fluctuations, how many times our maximum value is more than the average value. Now, the question comes, how will you do this? Fine. How can you calculate these fluctuations? How can you calculate the fluctuations? And to be precise, I'll tell you why I told you that here, because you always have a doubt that how could maximum value can be related to an average value. What is the relation between the two? How can you relate that? What it is called? So it is called as fluctuations. We know that how many times the value is fluctuating from average value to maximum value, or from average minimum value to average value, anything you can say. Fine. Now, for this reason, now for calculating fluctuations, and if you are basically designing for raw water scheme, your basic raw water scheme will fail if you design it for average demand. That I have told you 10 to 15 times, so that it's there in your mind. Now, the thing is, what to do? So what we'll do, you have seen here, there will be data for 365 days. Here, there will be data for 365 days. You will get different values of water demand. So what will happen, out of these 365 days, there will be one day where you will be getting the maximum daily demand. What I'm telling you, this is the daily demand for each day, but out of these 365 days, there will be one daily demand which would be maximum. And that is known as maximum daily demand. Fine. And in short, we say it as MDD. So, maximum daily demand. You call it in short as MDD. DD. This you have to remember. And how this maximum daily demand came? Out of the 365 days, there will be one day where the demand of water will be maximum, and which is known as maximum daily demand. Now, is it practically possible that you will see the data for 365 days and then you will calculate what is the maximum daily demand? And okay, fine, you'll say that for one person, I'll check the data for 365 days and then I'll take the value. And similarly, let us suppose for your community it is 10 lakh people. So for 10 lakh people's each and every day's daily demand, for maximum daily demand for each person, will you be calculating? No, it's not practically possible. So obviously there has to be some equation, some relation with the help of which we can find the maximum daily demand. So what it will be? It will be equal to 1.8 times annual average daily demand. Now, some people who would have already studied this subject, you would be having a doubt, ma'am, we have studied maximum daily demand is equal to 1.8 times average daily demand. This average daily demand is basically calculated annually. That's why, to be more precise, I have written it as 1.8 times annual average daily demand. And I told you how we calculate this annual average daily demand. If you remember, or if you won't, I'll repeat you again, because this I discussed in the very first lecture. What I told you, you calculate the volume of water required for 365 days, you'll get it as V. You will divide it, that was known as annual demand or annual draft. Now you have to calculate annual average daily demand. So what you did, for annual average daily demand, that entire volume of water, you divided it by 365, and that's what is known as annual average daily draft or annual average daily demand. So here it is 1.8 times annual average daily demand. If you'll say it also as average daily demand, that means we basically take it on annual basis only, yearly basis. Fine. So don't being stuck on this doubt. So you got maximum daily demand is 1.8 times annual average daily demand. Now let us say of 365 days, there is one day when you get the maximum demand. Let us say like it may be 5th June. Fine. So in all these 365 days, 5th June was the day when you got the maximum daily demand. But now the question comes, in 5th June, every hour from 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, for every hour, you would be having different demands of water. As you can see, for some amount of hours, I don't require a negligible amount of water I require, or when I sleep, I don't require water. Fine. So similarly, in 5th June, when you will be getting maximum daily demand, this is an arbitrary value, fine. Don't always consider 5th June. Just I'm telling, just for an example, you can take 15 June, 10 June, 15th May, anything. Just example I'm giving you. So now, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, up to 24 hours, what will happen? You will get the demand differently. It might be possible at the 6th hour, at 6 a.m. in the morning, I required maximum amount of water, while 12 p.m. in the midnight, I don't require any water. Anything can happen. So you can see, along with daily demand in the whole year, the hourly demand also changes. You can see, right? Every hour your demand will change. Just practically, you can also see, is your demand of water remains the same for each hour? Like if I'm having 4 liters of water is my water requirement for this particular hour, I'll have the same water requirement for the next hour? It might be possible, it might not be possible. It is highly uncertain. So now what is happening? Here you can see that every hour, your maximum, basically your hourly demand changes. So now I have to calculate what is the maximum hourly demand on maximum day. That means on 5th June, what was the maximum hourly demand? I'm not saying only maximum hourly demand. Maximum hourly demand on maximum day. So what I'm telling is maximum hourly demand, which you write it as MHD on maximum day. This comes out to be how much? This comes out to be 1.5 times annual, or you can say average hourly demand. Average hourly demand on fine. So we'll be calculating maximum hourly demand on that day, which when you got the maximum amount of maximum demand of water. Fine. So maximum hourly demand on maximum day is equal to this. I'll erase it, otherwise. Here I'm writing. This is 5th June. Fine. Where you'll be getting maximum daily demand. So maximum hourly demand on maximum day will be equal to how much? 1.5 times average hourly demand on maximum day. Now, how you calculate this average hourly demand is, for 24 hours, you will be getting different values, add the whole of these and divide by 24. You will get average hourly demand on maximum day, that is on 5th June, and you will multiply it by 1.5. You will get maximum hourly demand on maximum day. Getting it? So you got two relations here, market and block. I'll do it for you. Maximum daily demand, because numericals are being asked on this, so you have to be very much clear regarding the concept of it. Clear? Now, the thing is, maximum hourly demand 1.5 times average hourly demand on maximum day. But I want to calculate in some other parameters. How can I do that? Listen. For calculating average hourly demand on maximum day, what I told you is, you calculated the hourly demand of each day and then you added it up. So if you calculated the hourly demand of each day for 24 hours, what you will get? You will get maximum daily demand. Fine. So this is maximum daily demand. Now, maximum daily demand, you got it. Now I want hourly demand, average hourly demand. So what I'll do, I want, for this was for 24 hours, I want an average value, so I'll divide it by 24. Clear? Now, I know from the first equation that maximum daily demand is 1.8 times annual average daily demand. So I'll write it as 1.5 into 1.8. Let us say I'll name this as small q, or you can call it as annual average daily demand. In short, I'm writing, this is not any nomenclature. Just for your explanation purpose, I'm writing it here. Or you can write it as q also, small q. Anything. Fine. So this is annual average daily demand divided by 24. So if you solve this, what you will get? 1.5 into 1.8 will give you 2.7, and this annual average daily demand divided by 24 will give you average hourly. Clear? So you can say that 2.7 times annual average hourly demand. So you got two relations. One thing is, if somebody asks you, you can say maximum daily demand. If you want to calculate, it will be 1.8 times annual average daily demand. Annual average daily demand, I have already explained you initially. Maximum hourly demand. Let us suppose on 5th June at 9 a.m. 5th June at 9 a.m. your demand was maximum. Fine. Initially I told 5th June you will be getting maximum daily demand. Now I am telling you maximum hourly demand will be at 9 a.m. on 5th June you will be getting maximum hourly demand out of the whole year. Out of all the 365 days, out of all the hours. Fine. Out of all the hours of 5th June, I'll get it maximum at 9 a.m. So now you can say this is known as maximum hourly demand on maximum day, which will be equal to 1.5 times average hourly demand on maximum day. Now, how will you calculate this average hourly demand? See, I am repeating it again, so please make it clear this time. Average hourly demand will be how much? You will calculate the max, basically for each hour you will calculate the demand, you will add it. What you will get? You will get maximum daily demand. Now you want average hourly demand. So what you will do? You will divide it by 24 because this whole demand for each hour you added it on and you got maximum daily demand. Now you will have a doubt, ma'am, if you already added all those years, then why you are telling me that we calculate it like this? Because for knowing the maximum daily demand, you can't take it for each and every day, and that is the reason you have to calculate it by this formula. Now, for getting the time you know, the time you came to know, okay fine, it was 5th June when you will be getting maximum daily demand, fine, you can add the daily demand of each hours, you will get maximum daily demand, you will divide it by 24, you will get average hourly demand on maximum day. Now, I know that this maximum daily demand is 1.8 times annual average daily demand. So what I did, I multiplied it 1.8 annual average daily demand. I substituted the value. So what I get on multiplying this 1.5 into 1.8, I got 2.7. And here it was annual average daily demand. When I divided it by 24, I got it for each and every hour, or I can say annual average hourly demand. Clear? So now this is clear, I guess now. So this will be maximum hourly demand on maximum day is 2.7 times annual average hourly demand. This you should know. In other way we write it like this also, you can see MHD is equal to 2.7 Q by 24. This Q is annual average daily demand. This is clear. So just keep this mind, this 5th June example. 5th June maximum daily demand, 5th June at 9 a.m. maximum hourly demand on maximum day. Now one doubt which you will have, ma'am, you are telling that on 5th June at 9 a.m. I'll be getting maximum hourly demand, since you mentioned maximum hourly demand on maximum day. But out of the 365 days and each day having 12 hours, it might be possible, although on, let us suppose 10th of January, I won't be having maximum demand possible. But that day at 7 a.m. I got the maximum hourly demand out of all the 365 into 24 hours which was present. One day it's 1 day is 24 hours, so 365 will make how many hours? 365 into 24 hours. So out of all those hours, there was on 10th of January, I told you, na? 10th of January at 7 a.m., I got the maximum hourly demand. So why you are telling, what is the reason you are telling that maximum hourly demand on maximum day we have to take? It is contradictory, because maximum hourly demand we are getting on 10th of January, or let us suppose on the day of Holi. Basically we require more amount of water, so you can take maximum hourly demand on any time on that particular day. So now you are contradicting. See dear, maximum hourly demand for that day, that particular hour, for that you can't design the whole scheme. Fine, for that 7 a.m. or on 13th March, if there would have been a Holi on 13th March, let us suppose, for that 7 a.m., generally you don't design it. It's practically uneconomical. Fine, and if one day out of 365 days for any particular hour, you are requiring, or your demand of water is more, then it's bearable. You can bear it. Fine, there is no issues. But for maximum days of the year, your demand is more than the supply, then our water scheme will fail, basically. And that is the reason I'm telling you, we will take maximum hourly demand on maximum day. You can't take maximum hourly demand out of the 365 days, out of each hour, you won't take. You'll take maximum hourly demand on maximum day. That is 5th June, out of 24 hours, there will be 1 hour when you'll be having the maximum demand, and that is known as maximum hourly demand. This much is clear now? Fine. Now, I told you the relation, what is maximum daily demand, what is maximum hourly demand. Now moving further regarding this fluctuations. How can you calculate these fluctuations? You came to know regarding what is the average maximum value, what is the average value, all these relations I told you, note that down. Fine? And note it in a systematic manner, the way I just teach you. First this I taught you, then I told you write this. Fine? Then how this fluctuations came, and then the maximum daily demand. Now, I'll be teaching you one thing more regarding this water demand, fluctuation. Fluctuation, as I told you earlier, now there is one formula known as Goodrich's equation, or you can say Goodrich's formula. What is this? This is GOOD equation or formula, anything you can say. According to him, it is P, that is percentage fluctuation, is 180 T to the power minus 0.1. Fine. One thing which you have to keep in mind, that this time has to be greater than or equal to 1 day. Then only you will use this formula, and this is basically, this P is percentage fluctuations. How can you calculate this? Let us suppose, example, you put T is equal to 1 day. You will get how much? 180%, because this values will be in percentage. So what you will write? Maximum daily demand upon average daily demand will be 180%, or you can say maximum daily demand is 1.8 times average daily demand. How can you say this? You can say in this manner also. See, anything can be asked. Either they can ask in this format, 2-3 equations, or I'll be just putting the values and deriving it out. So it can ask you, out of these 4, according to Goodrich's equations, which of this is not valid, which of this is correct, which of this is not correct, anything. So they can ask you in this format, or they can ask is maximum daily demand is 1.8 times average daily demand, because this is P is the percentage fluctuations, and I told you it is the maximum value upon average value. Now in the place of this t is equal to 1 day, you put t is equal to 7. I'll calculate the fluctuation for a week. I will calculate the fluctuation for a week. So what you will put? You will put t is equal to 7. So when you will put t is equal to 7, you will get this value, approximately it is 148 point something, you will write it as 148. So what you can say now here, maximum weekly demand divided by average weekly demand is 148%. Or you can say it as maximum weekly demand is 1.48 times the average weekly demand, anything. Now what you can do is put t is equal to, we'll calculate it for a month. So what it will be, t is equal to 30. So on putting t is equal to 30, what you will get, let's see. You can calculate it on your calculator also, fine. It's 0.1. You'll get this value approximately as 128. So what I'll say, maximum monthly demand divided by average monthly demand is equal to 128%, or you can say maximum monthly demand is 1.28 times the average monthly demand. And similarly, if you calculate other days also, you can get the values, but these are the standard formats which you got. Now I want you to derive one conclusion from here. See, when we were varying it for daily demand, the fluctuation was 1.8. When we are varying for weekly demand, like maximum weekly demand, it is 1.48 times average weekly demand. So here your variation was fluctuation was 1.48. Similarly, here your fluctuation was 1.28. For what? Average monthly demand. And here it is monthly demand. Fine. So you saw here, when it was daily variation, you are getting 1.8 as the fluctuation. When it was weekly, you were getting 1.48 as the fluctuation. When it was monthly, you are getting 1.28 at the fluctuations. But when you were doing it on hourly basis, you were getting 2.7 as the fluctuations. So see, hourly 2.7, daily 1.8. After that, what? Weekly 1.48, monthly 1.28. So what you saw here, one thing, that as the sample size is increasing, as you are considering a greater range, your deviation from the actual value is less. Your standard deviation is less. This is the concept of probability, first of all. But if somebody asks you, when you get the maximum variations, so you get the maximum variations in hourly basis, fine. And if they ask you what is the minimum variation, you'll get an option is hourly, daily, weekly and monthly. So on monthly, you can see you'll get a comparatively lesser variation. Getting it? This much is clear. So as the sample size increases, your standard deviation decreases. This much is clear. Now here there's one more thing. I guess now you're clear what is maximum daily demand, maximum hourly demand, everything. Now what I'll do, and this Goodrich equations, every time remember one thing, this is valid only for time is greater than or equal to 1 day. and when the time is less than 1 day, you have already calculated maximum hourly demand. It is 2.7 times. So you have already calculated that factor. Clear? No issues? Now